Okay. So it's clear that in your life you've handled negative criticism and feedback. Is there a place in the book that you mentioned some of that, how you handled negative criticism and feedback that you can tell the audience?
Um, the hardest chapter, well, there are two hard chapters, but the hardest chapter to write and to live is the rejection chapter. When I started my PhD journey, I was 21,
Wow. Wow.
and I got rejected from Duke, and I only applied to Duke. And so when you get that rejection, it sits on you differently because you know that someone or some team surveyed your writing, surveyed your application, and said you weren't enough.
Wow.
And that has happened to me several times, even last year. When I recovered from my stroke, I thought, okay, this is God's will. I'm going to go back and apply again. And I applied to 5 schools this time so that I had options so that if a rejection letter came, I would be good because I would have one acceptance letter. Well,
Okay.
all 5 of the schools,
Ooh, wow. Wow. Wow.
all 5, all 5,
So what's the lesson for the
after my
audience
stroke.
about that?
Say it again.
What's the lesson for the audience about that?
Um, so I had waited 9 years to apply because I was so afraid of rejection.
Okay.
Those 9 years, I had to grieve, I had to do some other things. But when I was ready to apply, I thought that God owed me something because
Wow.
I was ready. And I
Okay.
want you guys to know that if you are delayed in what you want to do, God doesn't owe you anything. God doesn't have to accept you just because you applied. And so that was important. And then the other thing that was important was I was applying while I was healing, and I could not even write. So I had my assistant to write for me. We were massaging my last applications, and she really did the hard work. And I think now that I'm healed and now that I'm recovered more than I was last year, I think it wasn't my intellect. It wasn't, I wasn't smart enough.
Was
It
your
was
wisdom?
God's way of like, yo, you need to heal more. And if
Right.
you go into school like this, then you'll always be dependent on someone else to get you through. So
Okay.
let me pause your life so that you can heal. And then I'll accept you when the time is right.
Got
So
you.
everybody has um, rejection, and rejection never feels good. But you have to focus on why that rejection hit your life in this season.
All right.
Um,
I
People
like
say
that.
that rejection is the redirection, and I get that, but it still hurts.
Right. I got it. I got it. Hey, can we see the